It's pretty safe to say that the last week or so has been great for Xbox fans. There's been a lot of positive Xbox news, a lot of positive Xbox content, and I've noticed that Xbox YouTubers or pro Xbox guys on Twitter, their channels have seen record numbers on podcasts. Even a small YouTuber like me, my last few videos have seen pretty good numbers for my channel, and I think it's pretty safe to say that Xbox has a lot of positive momentum going into next generation. They're looking very strong going into next generation, and no matter how much you hate Xbox, I don't think you can deny that, right? If you deny that, you're just being an Xbox hater. But the reason I'm doing this video is about the flip-floppers. Now, over the past year or two, I've done several videos about flip-floppers, those guys that were pro Xbox, diehard Xbox, and all of a sudden they flip-flopped overnight and became Xbox haters, Xbox bashers. You know, I have my opinion about this, and I really want to share it with you guys. Now, first off, let me say this. There are a few different types of flip-floppers. There were those guys that flip-flop early in the generation. That's not really flip-flopping. I understand in 2013, there were a lot of Xbox 360 guys that went to PlayStation. I understand, because Xbox messaging was pretty bad at the beginning of this generation. The console itself wasn't that great, and some of the decisions Xbox made was terrible. So I really understand that. Then there were those guys that kind of flip-flop around 2015, 2016. They just saw that Xbox wasn't headed in the right direction. Even though they were Xbox fans, they said, nah, PlayStation is offering me more, which I understood also. But then we have those guys that flip-flop like in 2019. Those are the guys I really didn't understand their flip-flopping methods or why they flip-flop so late in the generation, but to each his own. Now, I've said plenty of times, Xbox hasn't been great this generation. Yes, they were underwhelming this generation. They made a lot of mistakes. Their first-party offerings were not good. I mean, there was a few games I really enjoyed, but if you want to compare them to Sony's, of course, Xbox first-party games couldn't compete with Sony's this generation. Now, those guys that fanboyed for Xbox all generation, and then they all of a sudden overnight become Xbox haters, those are the ones I didn't quite understand. But like I said, to each his own. Now, after last week's news with Bethesda, that's definitely proof that Xbox is going to be strong with their first-party content going into next generation. No longer will you see Xbox go a whole year with only a couple of AA games and, no high-quality AAA games. I really feel Xbox is going to do it way better next generation. So here's the question. Will some of those flip-floppers want to come back? And I say, who are we to tell them no, they can't come back, right? Who are we to tell them, no, you can't come back, asshole. You're not welcome here. You are not welcome here. Like, who are we to tell them they can't come back? Now, if you don't want to listen to the content, hey, that's on you. Now, there's a couple guys I probably wouldn't listen to their content if they did come back to the Xbox side. But there are some other guys I probably would listen to the content. Because look, at the end of the day, when guys flip-flop, that was their business. Whether it was because they genuinely hated what the Xbox was doing and wanted to be a PlayStation guy, or it was for their channel. Hey, guys, that's their decision. If some of those guys did it for their channel, it seemed like it worked for most of those guys. Some of those guys' numbers went up extremely. Tremendously, I should say. Their channel went up. The numbers went up, their views went up, their subs went up. So kudos to them. And then we have some of those guys that hated everything PlayStation a few years back. This game on PlayStation is trash. That game is trash. That game is bootleg. This is trash. And then all of a sudden, those games are phenomenal. Those are the ones I'm like, yo, you're not being genuine. You're not being genuine. But at the end of the day, who are we to tell them they can't come back and be an Xbox fan? Listen, I'm not PhilSpencer. I don't work for Microsoft. I can't tell anybody what to do. We're all adults. So if some of you guys, you flip-floppers, want to come back and be an Xbox guy, that's your prerogative. Some people will accept you back, some people won't. Like I said, there are some guys that if they came back to the Xbox side, I probably would listen to their content again. Then there are guys I just really don't like them anyway. So I would listen to them regardless if they were Xbox or not. So these are some things that was on my mind. You know, because I thought about that, because there was a time where I said those guys can't come back. And I thought, who the hell am I? I'm just a regular gamer like anybody else. Who am I to tell these guys they can't come back? That's their prerogative. If I don't like their content, I won't listen. I think it's pretty simple as that. So, at the end of the day, y'all, Xbox is looking really strong going into next generation. Oh my God, they're looking really good. We're hearing all of the conversation now is, will those games from Bethesda be exclusive to the Xbox brand? And I think if they will, most of them will be exclusive to the Xbox brand. Maybe a game like Elder Scrolls Online, maybe that game won't be, or something like that. A games as a service. But let's be honest, y'all. Xbox acquired these studios because they want the stuff in their ecosystem. Yes. 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 They want people to come to Xbox Game Pass to play these games, whether it's on PC, Xbox, or xCloud. They want people to subscribe to Game Pass to play these games. And I think that's pretty simple. It's funny how that conversation came up. You know, because you don't hear people saying Hellblade is going to be on PlayStation. The Initiative's new game is going to be on PlayStation. But they're saying Bethesda games are going to be on PlayStation because Xbox spent $7.5 billion for them. But let's just sit down and just think about it, guys. Just saying. Xbox is trying to be the place to be next generation. All right, y'all, I'm about to get out of here. But if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you happen to stumble upon my channel, you think I'm decent enough, why don't you go ahead and subscribe, please? And if you subscribe, hit that notification bell to know when my black ass is doing some new content, baby. All right, everybody. Peace and love. Peace and love. Shit. Damn, man. Ooh.